respect to that champion. And OMG now to answer. And look, this is such a curveball to throw if you're IMA, because OMG, like, they're like, all right, well, let's adapt to what happened in the last game. But it had a lot to do with what a Voidless was capable of on the Rek'Sai, a lot to do with Athena, who had an MVP performance on the Viktor.
Yeah, I mean, the major change now is OMG with the options on the map. This is definitely one of them that's worth considering.
Yeah.
As well as changing up their jungle pick. I also think that Bard, even a possibility to consider taking away from Road, because I just think the champion right now is unbelievably strong.
Oh, yeah.
But still, they don't.
Yeah, no Sivir Bard to be the option. And of course, like, denying the Bard was a really good idea, because if there's one constant as far as this IMA roster is concerned, it is Road. So, not going to do it by the looks of things. It is going to be Sivir locked in here by OMG. And IMA. Alright, so Caitlyn being looked at.
Definitely assessing their options. The Sivir being locked in by SMLZ, the denial as well from the AD carry here. Rhodes always got his support flexibility there.
Precisely.
Curious to see if they actually lock that in now, though. You have to imagine with World 6 having not got a jungler locked in, that Mitty might actually take preference in that respect.
Ooh, okay, locks in the Graves actually. So I'm going to take the opposite side of that matchup. Without Rek'Sai there, I mean, this may be a better idea here for IMA. May work out a little bit better, but we'll see.
I swapped with like a second left to Viktor for reference. I was in the middle of writing Caitlyn.
Well, he's going to be the same mid lane champion, different mid lane player.
Indeed.
But Viktor still very, very strong in the middle of the map. We'll see what OMG do to sort of round out this comp now that they've got some very comfortable picks. Azir is once again banned, so the golden combo of Sivir and Azir not going to be available to augment the Maokai, who's already very, very strong.
And with OMG banning away the Ryze themselves, I think the Swain is definitely something that you would have to bring into question for Cool if he can play it. That and the Ahri always going to be an option for him.
Oh, I do like the Sivir Karma combination, though.
As is this for Cool.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we're getting back to comfort here for Cool in the mid lane. So Twisted Fate is going to be taken. Oh my god, come on, jinjiao. He hovered the Draven. Hovered it for a moment, waiting for Road to lock in his Bard.
You would imagine it's Bard, but there are possibilities especially noteworthy that you're against the Twisted Fate and Sivir.
And Braum would make a little bit of sense here as well, considering the fact that they're not taking a tank jungle. So it could be giving him the Braum instead. Does pair well with Caitlyn.
Especially that you're blocking all of these spells that OMG have got.
Yeah.
Elise, Cocoon, Twisted Fate, Stun and Q, Sivir, everything.
Sivir's everything.
Just Sivir. You just block Sivir.
Yep.
Helps Caitlyn be oppressive also in the way of being an AD carry in that 2v2 bottom lane. Team fighting as well, a lot more utility. Viktor as well having auto attacks. Graves being auto attack focused. Trundle wanting to hit a lot of auto attacks. Braum's passive. Kind of a big deal, but he doesn't want it.
Whoa, Tahm Kench is going to be taken, and I absolutely love this. Love it so much. Something that we actually saw at MSI. Actually, SKT picked up the Tahm Kench support. Wolf was playing it because they saw a pick comp over the side. And so what do?
Yeah.
You take someone that can avoid anyone getting picked off. You just munch him up, and if Tahm Kench gets picked, who cares? He's got grey health. Activates that, gets through it. And otherwise, I mean, you've just managed to pick off a support. The rest of your team's possibly able to go to town on them anyway. So I really, really like this option. And look, it doesn't really detract from the laning phase too much because Caitlyn on her own is just bogus in that regard.
Yeah, Rhodes got the toad. He's definitely set himself up well for drafting. I agree with you, though. It was originally picked as a counter to Veigar when he was seen in the Worlds meta, and everyone adapted very quickly. Twisted Fate is another example of that, where you can catch people with picks. Elise also.
Yeah. Maokai to a certain extent with the Twisted Advance. I do like the adaptation. Very, very, I guess, on the fly and in the right time there for IMA. So we'll see whether it is going to still work here for OMG. They did grab the Elise there for World 6 as well, so he's adapted. And we'll see whether the control jungler, the ganking jungler, is going to work out for OMG this time around, because there has been a stylistic change. But AmazingJ's got the Trundle, And this is going to be very, very scary. Once again, BaeMe, a player that we actually saw be quite successful.
On EDG.
Yeah, on EDG. It was one of the better stand-ins there for Pawn, as Coach is now going to shake hands, and we'll see whether IMA can grab the first 2-0 victory or whether OMG are going to fight back in game number 2. Yep, so Xiyang was on your screen there for a moment, but we are going to have a slight pause as we break into this possibly final game of the night.
Indeed. Of course, a lot of questions now. We've got the entire drafting phase to see from both of these teams.
Yeah.
Tahm Kench, the standout that we've spoken about before, but the Twisted Fate as well for OMG being the reason. What I like about that pick is that OMG, and this is almost akin to their first draft, but now more holistically, comfort. Like, it's exactly what they want to be. It's exactly how they want to play the game out. Cool being Twisted Fate. He can now be an experienced shot caller for the team. He can rotate around the map. I think this is a very big positive for OMG.
Yeah, and he actually, like, Cool was completely held down in game number 1, and it's going to be a very different story now with a lot of very safe wave clear. I mean, I know he's against a Viktor, but if there's no minions at all, I mean, that's still absolutely fine. Wildcard, red card will be able to clear out that minion wave very effectively, and we'll see whether he's going to be able to get around the map and get things working. And I think a lot of it is going to be on road, trying to avoid these ganks, being at the right place at the right time to save his teammates.
And Tahm Kench is not an ideal roamer in comparison to the Bard from the last game, but at level 6, of course, you can bring someone with you, so perhaps it is a little bit more impactful in that respect. I think that there are still a lot of positives to IMA as we move into our second game, as a draft, as a team as well, but still, questions. Every single time we've watched this team play now, this is, of course, the second time.
Yeah.
They've changed their roster up in key positions, like game-winning from game 1 positions.
Yeah, precisely. And like, if you were to look at game number 1, who would you give like most important, second most important, and third? Like, rate it out like the first 3, because I have a feeling that Athena and Avoidless would have been up there in those top 3 spots with Road.
I wouldn't have had a Voidless, to be honest with you. I think I would have had a mid lane, and then I would have gone support, top lane as like a combo pair there. And I think that they are actually the most important when you look at IMA as a team, right? So AmazingJ needs to be diving the back line. Rhodes sets that up so that he can. He was using the Bard Tempered Fates as an example. Mid lane was actually just wave clearing. So whilst I think that I rated mid lane as the most important, jungle is definitely still a big deal. I think that anyone can do what they did in game number 1, as long as they don't lose lane and don't suck.
So it's sort of about the plan rather than the players that were carrying out the plan, because they did so perfectly, but it's not exactly something that's all too difficult to manage.
Yeah, and there's also the possibility that changing the players changes everything. Because as far as we know, Athena as a mid laner was just wave clearing and keeping cool down by poking him and whittling down his health bar, which let the rest of IMA dive him and continue from there with their snowball. Perhaps BaeMe is passive. Perhaps he can't control lane. We don't really know, and that's the questions that we need to ask.
Yeah, or maybe he just like lets Cool push into him as well, tries to create scenarios where Cool is going to be out of place in order to be ganked as well. So there are a lot of players that do have very, very different styles, and it's been a while since we've seen BaeMe as well play in the mid lane, because of course he was filling in for Pawn when he was injured a long time ago.
I think he was playing with AmazingJ at the time that BaeMe was subbing in, if memory serves, which is a sign that they've been together for quite a while. Athena's actually the new player in this, so like realistically, Athena subbed in for game 1, then they actually put the big boys in for game number 2.
Yeah.
Because BaeMe's meant to be the mid laner for this team.
Yeah, and Avoidless was actually meant to be the jungler. So sort of a bit of a weird switch out where you got like main roster coming back in, main roster switching out there as well. But I really like the fact that they are giving different players a chance, because of course this is game number 1. It's a very, very long season. Remember, all of these teams in Group B are going to be playing each other twice. They're going to be playing the teams in Group A once as well. It equates to some ludicrous amount of games. So if you're going to mix things up, do it at the beginning and then try and catch yourself back up, like, or, you go in very, very hard at the beginning, much like EDG like to do, and then play around with things at that stage. So.
Yeah, or kind of like what QG did with Uzi last split as an example. Wait until they're ready before you put them in. But of course, this being an LSPL team, kind of give them the one game here and there. But this, of course, being an LSPL team that plays together a lot, they might have mixed and matched a lot in the LSPL.
Yeah.
I think they're quite comfortable swapping players because you don't usually swap two at once. And the thing about this as well is it's predetermined when you come into the LPL best of series. Like game 1, 2, 3, it's all predetermined rosters. So they knew they were going to do this before coming into this series. And this is with a plan regardless of how game 1 went.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And there's also the fact that, like, I really hope that we continue to see a lot of this flexibility in these rosters because there's a lot of curveballs that you can throw. And we see a lot of adaptation between sort of champ selects and things like that. And it's much more difficult to do when you have to account for 40% of the roster completely being different.
Yeah, absolutely right. And I mean, drafting was the first step in that, right? You have to maybe take Bard away from Road as an example, but what if he's subbed out in the second game? Do you know if the other guy can play Bard? Do you fall for the same trick twice? I feel like what they've effectively done is that but with Viktor. Where it's like Viktor beats the Ryze, Viktor won the game and got MVP, but we subbed out our mid laner, so they don't ban the Viktor, and he kind of just picks it up anyway. He's hold on, sweet. It's great.
And of course, everyone plays Viktor in the mid lane anyway. Yeah. So, I mean, might be proving the point that, Viktor is just a ridiculously strong champion. Did lose game number 1 today.
But still 100% pick or ban.
Exactly. So, one thing that we definitely did get out of Rusty's article over on LoL Esports was the fact that Viktor still extraordinarily strong. Make sure you go and check that one out if you want to learn about 6.10 at all. Lots of thoughts on the Dragon, on the Rift Herald, things like that. I learnt a lot, read the whole thing. Don't read a lot of articles all the way through. Read this one. Felt like it was a very, very enjoyable experience.
Still going. Really impressive plug, Atlas.
I thought that was a good one, right?
It's almost like you wrote it. That's how much you just plugged that article.
Did you guys actually see the teleprompter there in the background? Just like, it was just automatically came up.
I didn't have to tell anyone to go anywhere anymore. It's great. I got this guy. Just go check it out.
I'm going to be following you around for the next few days, just plugging all of his stuff. Of course, he's going to be writing a few more things as well. We are, of course, ladies and gentlemen, in a pause at the moment, about to get into game number 2 between IMA and OMG. OMG probably reveling in the time that they now have to readjust because losing like game number 1 for a team debuting in the LPL could actually be really difficult for this team to manage and actually could be a very good example of sort of Cool's level-headedness really paying off.
Yeah, I think if OMG are going to successfully come back into this game or this series in general, they do have to have Cool and Xiyang step up to the plate, be that experienced member for the team and kind of just keep it level-headed. I almost keep going to say Cool, just keep it level-headed throughout. And bring it back strong. SMLZ, of course, no slouch when it comes to competitive play. I wouldn't call him the experienced member on the roster, but he's done his time to be considered a long-standing AD carry.
May not have necessarily been in as much of the limelight as players like Cool would be because, of course, Cool, being to All-Stars, played phenomenally. Of course, went to Worlds, played phenomenally there as well. This guy's been playing for the OMG organization for an extraordinarily long time and, of course, has a massive fan following at the same time, understands the pressure of being one of these players. But SMLZ's always been there. Always been playing in the LPL for a very, very long time, but just not necessarily at the level of Cool and not with as much of the recognition that this guy's had. So really good to see like someone like SMLZ stepping up to the plate because his Jhin was good in the last game. Just unfortunately, this sort of steamroller style that IMA had meant that he couldn't really play like a Jhin wants to, which is sort of calm and calculated.
You know what's interesting?
What is interesting?
M3 as a team, they weren't good. Like they were really bad, I think, as it is. But every single individual player has now gone to another team and is good.
Hey, that's a really good point. So what have you got? Like Condi, Dade, Lupa, SMLZ,
and someone.
And I think it was it Candy or Love City?
Yeah, whoever that is, they don't play. But 4 out of 5 ain't bad.
Yeah, no, it ain't bad at all.
And they've all just gone to different teams. They've all been really good players on these respective teams. So, you know what? There's 2 trains of thought here. M3 sucked as a team, or their support was just not good.
Wait, hang on. If we have a look at the teams that all of those players went to now as well, I mean, do they have phenomenal support players that really are holding them together?
5's a monster.
Yeah, 5's a beast.
Marta is
Marta's
like
pretty good. Pretty sure that guy's
word
okay.
on the street.
Yeah, word on the street, pretty good still.
Who are we missing?
Who are we
QG, no. So they
Oh,
don't.
Zero's pretty good.
Yeah, but QG break the... I wouldn't call Mora top tier in the LPL support.
Oh, damn it.
Almost onto something. It's not the supports. Either
Really,
way,
really
what I
close.
am trying to say is that the individual players
It's
are
the
good.
breeding ground for
Yeah.
like phenomenal players. I like
That
it.
was like I was here, and
Yeah.
then you went like really deep. Like you went straight down, and I wasn't trying to go there, but it almost worked.
It's like you don't even know me. Like if you're gonna trust me to do anything, it's go far too deep when you bring me an analogy like that. But M3 no longer in the LPL. Very, very sad stuff. Thankfully, Game Talents is there with 40% of the team now towards the bottom side of the map. EPA, of course, occupying the rest of it. But they actually played very, very well. So excited to see what this team's going to do. And maybe if we grab all of those parts, like where did Soul go at the same time?
Moon
like
and
that?
Soul were good.
Yeah, real good.
They've disappeared. We need them back.
We certainly do. So we'll see exactly what does happen. So looking forward to this game to actually start, to be perfectly frank with you, ladies and gentlemen, because we are, look, in a pause at the moment trying to sort things out. It's probably another one of the sort of ping issues that we have been happening. It does sort of tend to crop up here because it's the very, very beginning, brand new patch for the LPL, and things can be a little bit difficult. We are going to be bearing with it for as long as possible as soon as we get into this game. And look, it's a deciding match here for IMA, and I really hope that like we are going to see our first 2-0 victory, because I didn't even know whether it was possible. Like maybe we are just going to have 3 games every single time. And look, that can be dangerous because you can be looking like side bias, things like this could be really coming out.
The modern best of 2.
Yeah.
Not just the best of 3. I don't think there's any allusion to side bias based off the wins so far. I think it's pretty mixed and matched. I mean, you'd usually... So the way I would imagine it is Dragon being important, red side is then better. But because blue side is picking up wins all the time, I don't see that really as a trend anymore. But that's unusual. So like you look at drafting, it's like red side gets the first or the 2 picks, whereas blue side gets the first priority pick.
Yeah.
How is that a big deal? Is there any bans that have gone towards it? I still think there's a mix and match between target bans and strong champions being picked, but the Ryze, as an example, still losing. So look, honestly, I just think it's teams being better than other teams on the day and finding the victories where it counts. I don't think there is any actual trend to be seen thus far.
Yeah, and teams also understanding like what they're capable of on certain sides as well, and like which side wants to be lane swapping this time around. And that's a good question for this game moving in as well, because of course IMA actually instigated the lane swap first up here in game number 1, and then it was answered immediately, like the immediate shove in from OMG, then moved up towards the top side, and then SMLZ was able to sort of dominate that lane while he could. But we'll see exactly what happens this time around, because that could have been a potential thing for OMG to capitalize on. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to throw to a short break. When we get back, hopefully we're going to have game number 2 between IMA and OMG. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our English broadcast of the Chinese LPL. We are currently in a pause between OMG and IMA. We do have the full drafts down, but there are some internet issues in the venue, so we are making sure we clear those up so that each player is going to have exactly the same experience on Summoner's Rift. Very, very important stuff to do. But yes, just waiting to get onto the Rift for the possibly last game of the night, because IMA had a dominant performance in game number 1. OMG unable to really find any way in, Rusty.
Yeah, definitely struggling OMG, of course. You have to remember, first game in the LPL, I almost called it the OPL. There has been a lot of shaky starts for Team OMG. Naturally, IMA, though, their first game ever in the LPL has been very impressive.
Yeah, well, see how the second one goes as we are onto the Rift finally for game number 2. We'll see exactly what is going to happen. AmazingJ just doing a drive-by over screen just there. Maokai there for Xiyang is going to wander over a ward, so it looks like OMG not going to be swapping any lanes at this stage.
I think Cool's going to get them, actually, from the looks of it. 2 saplings is the number, the magic number for the mid laner to pick it up. If he starts a red card, get himself all 3 of them.
There it is, beautiful. Well, look at this. The Master Chef himself.
Also playing the Tahm Kench, which is one of the harder things to smite battle against, as you can tell.
Oh, that was very cute. Just
Also
eats it.
yeah.
Does a lot of damage to it.
OMG gave it
out
a leash.
easy pickup.
Good start.
Yeah, lane swap is going to be coming into effect, so IMA once again going to be instigating it. Bro.
He's getting the small ones. He was going for 40.
Yeah, Sindling. That's a big deal. Oh.
Yeah, that's actually a big deal. Remember, we spoke about this as well. When experience gain has been changed in the jungle so that the person who gets the kill is the only one who gets experience, that's actually quite a large deal to take away any individual camp, because all of the small ones go to the top laners, and Xiyang still only level 1.
That was a really sweet fadeaway death ray as well. While you were talking about that just there. BaeMe showing that he's still well and truly comfortable on this Viktor, like every mid laner in the world.
Yeah.
Because honestly, everyone plays him.
As they should be. And of course, Mitty, something that we have to talk about, is he's making his way mid.
Yeah, here's the immediate change.
His path very well in the way of avoiding Karma, avoiding the support pressure, and staying away from the bottom side of the map. What he has done, though, is given World 6 a free reign of this part of the jungle, and he'll well and truly catch up, if not best, Mitty. So,
yeah. Red buff, of course, was taken by World 6 as well. Something that Graves very much wants is the red buff. We'll see whether this could be a 3-buff start available from World 6 as he moves around and actually spots out that red buff. So, yeah, you can see Mitty.
Oh, he's going to miss that cast of Communion now. Unlucky.
A little bit unfortunate.
That's why you don't always preemptively auto-attack them before they get onto the turret atlas.
Really?
Yeah. Only some of them. You should. You have to recognize minion aggro and how it actually is predictable as well.
Yeah, how predictable is it, though? I always struggle with it.
Predictably unpredictable.
That is very convoluted and confusing, but I do like the idea.
No, the idea is it targets the outside ones first. Turrets included, so
Uh-huh.
you have to be particular with which ones you hit. Like, right here is fine because there's no minions.
Well, you can see turrets falling on the top and bottom sides of the map for each team at about the same time. Top lane is also able to get relatively even CS. Xiyang is able to pick up a couple of extras. That was AmazingJ. Okay, so both of them sitting on 8 or 9. Not too bad. You can see OMG, slight organic lead. I think Stack Deck probably helping out with that one for Cool.
Yeah. Things kind of very slow at the start of this game,
Sorry,
but such is the
dice.
nature.
Loaded dice, not Stack Deck.
The money one.
Too many passives on his stuff.
Either way, Cool having a good time in this middle lane is always a positive sign for OMG, especially once he gets towards that level 6 mark and gets his first recall in.
Yeah.
The question is, does he go for the Sheen build? Does he go for the Abyssal Scepter build, perhaps, given that it has cooldown reduction on it now? And how much can Road get done?
Yeah, precisely.
He's not roaming.
Just smacking down this turret. Of course, if Caitlyn's happy, she's generally smacking on a turret. Well, we got mirrored action here as the lanes were swapped. Xiyang is going to pay his visit towards the top lane as well. We may just have outer turrets falling on both sides.
This one
Road
will take a long
just deciding
time.
to eat Mitty.
I think he wanted a minion, just quietly.
Yep.
I'll say this turret's going to take a bit longer than OMG's, but they've added the jungler, so the inclusion of an extra member.
And it's a Graves as well. A little bit of extra damage there, but it has given World 6 some free reign. And you can see the jungle relatively bare right now. A lot of farming has been going on, and 24 CS to 15. And I mean, Graves, known for his ability to farm things out.
Yeah, but he's also spent a lot of time, and again, it came back to the awkward start to the jungle.
Yeah.
This is the other reason why I would imagine lane swaps are actually quite important. The fact that you can then go to the dragon on your second turret swap. What the immediate adaptation should be, however, from the opponent team in OMG was the hard push.
Yeah.
Instead, they give over a free objective as camera guy's getting this down.
Damn right he is. We got Windy right into salt water.
Ocean.
Yep. I just
For
didn't
those who
quite know
didn't
what to
get
say.
it.
I was about to say windy into salty, but then people may think Salt Lake, something like that. It's lake, guys. Xiyang
It is late.
hanging out with this minion wave. He's pushing nicely back towards himself. So we're going to see possibly another shove as Caitlyn and Tahm Kench once again moving towards another potential objective. In a turret towards the top lane will be the option.
And this is one of those points in the lane while we're looking at it that BaeMe could honestly just drop the Storm and make Cool's life miserable and stop him from getting anywhere on the map.
Drop the base.
Basically.
Once again, Road maneuvering himself around. Little kitten not going to quite find him. He does have a fair bit of vision, but now going to head back, and we'll see whether this is going to be the Roman Toad. Road the Roman Toad. Beautiful.
It's actually important, though, that they went top lane so Xiyang couldn't get a freeze. If they break that freeze, they can then give AmazingJ the farm under the turret anyway, and they'll stay even as top laners. But World 6 actually very smartly here.
Oh, nice movements from Road, though. As you can see, Mitty's making his way in as well. There's the pillar put down. AmazingJ making sure he forces a flash out of World 6. No one to repel to.
Yeah.
Wow. Bit of an advantage, yeah, but there's the teleport in from Xiyang. There's the flash, actually. And Xiyang is definitely going to be going down here. Cool. The heal is there. Does have... Oh, sad boys. Nets himself into the wall. Had to use it there because, of course, one more auto attack would have done it.
Yep.
Cool. Grabs himself first blood. That is a big deal for the Twisted Fate. And actually used the teleport to get himself there. So still has Destiny if he wants to affect the map.
2 flashes burned. Xiyang still has his teleport, but there's no dragon to contest for, so I don't think it'll be used for anything too important just yet. Cool, of course, having his Destiny. They might be able to 4-man with the AD carry support duo, but it's also a Karma, which means it's difficult to execute on. And so realistically, they get themselves a kill, and they don't really get anything from it. And the biggest benefit's actually just going to be that SMLZ has a lead.
Yeah, 47 to 64, and Sivir having a good time against a Caitlyn is definitely a big deal here for OMG.
But they haven't even had a time against each other. That's the major conflicting difference. Caitlyn should not have overstayed her welcome in the top lane. Well and truly did that.
Yeah. And of course, Xiyang didn't have to use his teleport either. Was just cool, able to get that one to work. Yeah, Ace in the hole going to come down, but cool. Not even below half.
Looking bottom for AmazingJ.
Yeah, Destiny comes in. He's AmazingJ looking to try and turn this one around, but World 6, gets it flashed over the top. Really nice work, but he is still going to...
Oh, wow.
Road picks it up after the flash. He gets delivered into death, though, as 5 picks up that kill. Grey Health going to be eaten here as World 6. Gets the base dropped on him. BaeMe picks one up. That is going to be not enough responses there from Aimee as they lose 2 for 1.
Unreal follow-up damage from Aimee, but it's not going to change the pace of the game. OMG still finding advantages. Cool with his signature Twisted Fate, if not Ari, putting in work.
Yeah, 2-0-1 now as well. And we always talk about Twisted Fates like, can their first roam do the work? Is that what's going to be able to get them to a point where they are in control? Because as soon as a Twisted Fate's behind, it's difficult because... you just, you teleport in to die, and that's not so much of a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now he needs to be respected.
Yep, except that Viktor and the rest of Aimee are still looking to pressure that lane out, as Mitty's going to have a hard time finding this ward. Really hard time. Naturally, though, Aimee still looking quite strong. I think the problem's going to be the Caitlyn, and we're always going to come back towards looking at this.
Yeah.
There's just no safe place for her to be against the Twisted Fate. Whilst the ultimate's down, perhaps it is. It's just not ideal. And it's a mid-game trough champion as well.
Yeah. So if OMG do manage to get their lead, there's not going to be a lot jinjiao can actually do to affect the situation.
And look at the way he has to play right now. He doesn't know where the jungler is and OMG are freezing. He needs to push into an awkward position just to break a freeze.
IMA, however, do have a lot of vision towards that bottom side of the map, so not a lot of flank opportunity here available for OMG.
Bringing down Viktor.
Yeah, that is actually going to be the snare coming in, but Road, of course, able to nab his Caitlyn out of the way. So far, we have seen how useful a Tahm Kench can be against these pick comps.
Proactive, though, is what OMG are this time around, and it feels like the team who has control is the team actively making steps towards winning.
Yeah, well, World 6 actually taking a fair bit of damage, does have the repel, help himself out, but there are a lot of members converging on this mid lane. jinjiao, of course, going to make his way in as well, as World 6 heads towards the top side of the map to grab the Krug camp.
I mean, we're 11.5 minutes into this game, and I still feel like OMG is, like, outright winning. And I know they're not, but, like, 2.4k, roughly, at this stage is a lot.
Yeah, nothing to scoff at here at 11 minutes.
And they need to find some serious skirmishes, put themselves in this. Because jinjiao sharing farm with BaeMe is not okay.
No, of course, BaeMe did take that opportunity to head back to base. But of course, Cool did as well. He's got a Lich Bane now already done. This Twist of Fate, very, very strong, already moving in towards this sort of split push opportunity. And mitty has been caught out of position. There's the Destiny as well. Has used the flash, the ultimate, and the quick draw, but it's not enough. He's, oh my goodness, still alive somehow. Cool is able to lock that one down, but he's falling very, very low. So much movement speed out of the Twisted Fate. Looks like he did actually take Storm Raider's Surge there as well.
That's what it felt like, absolutely. But he has Thunderlords based off what we can see above his...
Hey, that's a good point.
Summoner icon, which means he does have Thunderlords now available.
Didn't think that...
that was very quick.
Yeah, didn't think that Karma was able to give him that much movement speed.
Sivir ult Karma as well. You got to remember they have a lot of move speed available to them. And that was a very nice pick onto mitty, who was out of position by a fair distance again. But also, you can see BaeMe, no slouch on this Viktor.
Yeah.
Still commanding respect to his burst. And finally, jinjiao gets himself an opportunity to farm.
Yeah.
And hold a wave.
Might be able to get a decent freeze on this one as well. Ocean Drake may fall down in favor of OMG given this extra space that they have been given. But we'll see exactly what is going to happen here. Lots of vision available for OMG as well, as Wildcard is just going to be able to tag this one as he's pulling it out of the pit. World 6 is going to make his way in there as well. Road down here. Just looking to be a menace. Doesn't get snared up though. mitty, we'll see whether he can actually get in here and take away this dragon. No Tongue Lash going to come in, but there's the teleport available from AmazingJ. Xiyang's going to make his way in as well. mitty's actually going to get stunned up. AmazingJ right here, but look at the damage onto the Graves. jinjiao, can he get the work done? The shutdown comes in. They've already lost the Fed Twisted Fate. And IMA now might have the opportunity to make a change.
Yeah, so Graves doesn't have any health to speak of. He needs to be careful when it comes to going for the dragon. They'll take the pick onto Cool, though, you would imagine, and just go back about their business.
Shutdown gold
happy.
for the it's shutdown gold for the Caitlyn. That is such a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, look at Caitlyn's build right now. They were trying to bridge a big gap in strength, and Cool's kind of lovingly gifted it to them. I don't think there's a whole lot that they're able to actually get done here, OMG. From a blunder, they should still get the dragon. Honestly, like, that is the easiest dragon in history.
Yeah, especially when blue buff is going to be delivered to BaeMe as the priority. So, wards are there. But I am saying, all right, we pushed our luck enough by getting that nice pick off. This dragon's going to level while they're taking it. Let's have a look at what's next. Mountain Drake is going to be coming in. So no Infernals to be seen this game. But a bit of extra regen available for OMG this time around.
Yep, one dragon apiece between both of these teams. Still the gold lead remains the same, though we've had a couple of skirmishes now to be seen.
And what do you think, where does this game rest if you're an IMA fan? Like, what are you looking for to try and get them back into a winning position?
Bridging the gap. Viktor needs to bridge Caitlyn to a point of power. Trundle as well as a split pushing threat. He's always going to have that availability, but he's building the team fight just to be a super tank, as is AmazingJ anyway.
Yep.
We're just looking at it, like, if you're an IMA fan, you just want to scale. You want to stop actually letting them get advantages.
Jinjiao wants to be able to take that red buff, but doesn't get it. Peacemaker came out, didn't find too much, as SMLZ is the one that gets it. Nice tongue lash to grab himself that relic stack. And once again, Jinjiao has a minion wave gifted to him.
Yeah, it's still very important that he's getting these. The BF sword added to his pickaxe as well is still behind in items.
AmazingJ. This is a troubling time. In goes the Destiny. Cocoon isn't going to quite find him as the Subjugate does come down. He's running pretty quickly.
He's got a pillar, he could live.
Yep, pillar is going to come in, but there's the repel.
Oh, no, there's
just
no turret.
waiting for the cooldown. Of course, yeah, he has to run for a very, very long time. Took him a while to go down, but we'll see whether IMA can get anything. Teleport immediately back into the mid lane, so not going to lose anything from that one. Nice play from OMG.
Yeah, OMG still displaying. They've got the capabilities as cools now.
Yeah, on the hunt has been popped as SMLZ makes his way in. Nice instant cleanse there from BaeMe, saves his life.
That was sick.
Yeah, Captain Jack.
That was really sick from BaeMe. He keeps himself alive, as you said, but still had to burn the cleanse. Cool is a definite threat. Oh, yeah. Twisted Fate. He moves so fast and then gets the Sivir ult to boot, gets the Karma shield as well. It feels like they've got one strategy, and that is buff the heck out of Cool.
Well, they have started all the movement speed here. OMG looking for a potential dive as collateral damage just clears out a wave.
Get him.
Kitty.
Still doing well, BaeMe. He is probably the saving grace of this entire game.
Yeah. Perfect hex score done as well, so Chaos Storm has to be respected even with all the movement speed that OMG have.
Yeah, the base damage of it is quite strong, so level 11 is actually what I'm looking towards.
Yeah.
The burst is unreal. Teamfight's still entirely winnable by IM.
Well, they also have a lot of base damage on Jinjiao as well. I mean, he's got the Renan's Hurricane, doing a lot of AoE damage as well as the pickaxe and the BF sword. So we'll have that 2-item spike of the Infinity Edge Renan's very soon.
Mm-hmm.
So they are slowly bridging, slowly creating
just holding on.
Situation. Exactly, and the gold lead has not changed. I mean, what is it, 2.3k? Nothing really to worry about. SMLZ picks himself up some free mana. Jinjiao. There's a sale at the store, I think. He's just happy to get the farm where he can.
Yeah. It's kind of the name of the game, and we'll continue to allude to that fact for IM. They just want to farm, they want to scale, they want to sit pretty when they get towards the 25 to 30 minute mark, perhaps, and finish more items.
Yeah.
OMG, on the other hand, even building a zone use on Cool, they're showing signs of aggression, and it doesn't show signs of slowing down.
They do have 2 carries pushing in the mid lane, though. That's
They'll just
not
all bottom.
ideal.
They'll just kill Caitlyn.
Well, you're exactly right. Oh, Abyssal Voyage is going to come in. The heal's down. He's been eaten. Jinjiao is going to fall eventually, but Xiyang is now in an uncomfortable position. Nice knockup comes in. Chaos Storm going to be down there as well as Road picks up the kill. So the trade 80 carry for top laner means that OMG, I mean, they instigated it. But honestly, they've got relatively even.
Yeah, but they've lost control of the middle lane. So whilst they get an even trade, OMG is still going to be able to push in here. It's going to be hard for Mitty to defend.
Yep, collateral damage is there. End of the line. Means that they will have to tank this one up, but are going to do so quite easily.
Yeah.
A couple of minions remain.
And so whilst it's a 1-for-1 trade, they get themselves the turret.
Like it.
And it was all a part of their grand plan. Road also, I think, actually missed playing. It was a real opportunity for him to eat Jinjiao, but he didn't do it.
Everyone was sort of stacked on
top. Okay, so there was a distinct like half-second period where Jinjiao had netted away in the Twisted Fate after the stun had ended and Road couldn't get to him. Perhaps it was a positioning or communication issue.
Well, we'll see whether next time can come out ahead. It's Jinjiao. Still not enough money to pick up the Infinity Edge. The Cull has procced, so a bit of extra cash there for the Caitlyn. 1, 2, and 2. But of course, the kill score isn't really the big deal here. It's the fact that he's 50 CS behind SMLZ, who's just been eating creep waves. Been served up to him.
Yeah, not having a great time, to be perfectly honest with you. Jinjiao has been predetermined feature since the start of this game.
Yeah.
They did it to themselves in the lane swap. They wanted AmazingJ to be ahead. It hasn't amounted to anything. He's just getting ulted by Twisted Fate. Time and again. When we see teams play against OMG and disrespect his Twisted Fate.
Mm-hmm.
He makes you respect it.
So I actually really liked what was done into Snake, in fact, yesterday. Tank has his Twisted Fate banned whenever Snake are on the red side. It's because that counterpick Twisted Fate is always a threat. If you've got a Twisted Fate player, have to respect it, as in comes the Abyssal Voyage. Xiyang forced to run out of the way. There's the ultimate to come in as well. He's going to get eaten, repositioned, and then destroyed. Going to take a while there, but it's a perfect timing for this dragon to come up. Cool.
Yeah, but
Split pushing towards the top side.
Still with teleport available, Cool is going to draw attention. They opt into not even going for the dragon because they can't, and they're probably going to lose turrets for this.
Yeah, inner possibly to fall towards the top side of the map. Well, definitely to fall. Mid lane inner turret was also pressured out of the way as, turret does eventually fall. So Cool.
Not
Just
sure
being
how
a nuisance.
Not sure how it fell. Just decided it didn't want to stand.
Yeah, it was done. It was like, come on, it's basically enough.
It's been a long day. Top lane is Sivir and TF.
Yeah, On the Hunt has been popped here as end of the line comes in. Mitty wants to be able to find something here. It's Cool, looking for it onto Road. Road the Toad.
This is like, they are completely running Aimee around the map at the moment.
Which is
Twisted
exactly what
Fate.
Aimee was doing in game number 1.
Yeah, but this is because of the draft, 100%. Like, they've just put themselves into this predicament, and they're now forced to bear the brunt of it.
Yeah.
The TF gets a turret top lane, just ults his way back towards the middle lane. We've seen him pressuring mid lane, then just ult bottom lane and kill the Caitlyn. You pick yourself Caitlyn, and you don't give them an opportunity to make it through the early game. They hit this mid-game trough. You get capitalized on. And Sivir literally just has to press R and watch the game win.
Yep. Of course, 5 has it a little bit more difficult. He has to press R and then E. But the same thing will happen in the end. Might need to do some right-clicking as well.
And it's a comp designed around Elise and Twisted Fate, respectively.
Yeah, it's actually really cool.
And it only really works when they get ahead. Because the pick composition is basically irrelevant if anyone is losing. Because he's a 4-1 and 3 TF, and Elise is still farming decently and has items at the very least. We'll still have the cocoon there. Things are looking very positive here for OMG.
Well, AmazingJ has finished his first couple of items. Going very, very tanky for the Trundle. Often we do see things like the Iceborne Gauntlet finish first, things like the Ravenous Hydra there as well, but not going to happen this time. AmazingJ looking to just try and be a body.
Well, he has no wave clear, so up against the Twisted Fate, he'll actually run into problems.
Yeah, I mean, Sunfire Cape is at least a thing.
Well, that's now his primary wave clear. And standing in the middle of a minion wave, which again, Twisted Fate kind of enjoys that. I don't think they want to focus the Trundle. I feel like he's built himself into irrelevance. In that respect, he's just going to be that body you mentioned. It means that Cool will be staying in the same lane as him and then just being elsewhere and killing the Caitlyn or the Graves in rotation and then potentially even looking at the Baron now.
Well, he's got all of his tools available, does Cool and the Twisted Fate. So we'll see exactly what Aimee are actually going to be able to do. As OMG running out of vision a little bit here towards the top side, but OMG, they've pulled the trigger, looking for BaeMe there as well. He's got the flash. He's got the cleanse, but he doesn't need to use either.
Yeah, Sivir Ultimate and Karma's Mantra used. I think AmazingJ actually causing issues for Cool and getting out of the lane.
Yeah.
Potentially stopping that from happening at all. From what I've seen in terms of map movements, Cool's definitely shot calling.
Well, right now, at least able to continue pushing out waves. SMLZ doing the same thing in the mid lane. But the Caitlyn, slowly but surely.
Getting stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely getting stuff. It's just a matter of when. 2 full items is nice, but having not upgraded boots, not so nice.
Yeah, also 70 CS behind. Also not nice.
Yeah.
AmazingJ beating the heck out of that siege minion. Mitty as well, positioning himself around this Baron. Aimee just looking like they don't quite know what to do next in order to get themselves back into this game. Last game, it was all about them being so proactive, so sure of themselves in their movements. Now you can see OMG looking to try and find themselves a pick here in the jungle. Pink ward is there. BaeMe is able to get that.
That was very impressive that he got that at all. World 6 actually smited for him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so tried desperately to steal it and tried to outsmite Mitty, but Mitty didn't smite at all. There you go, the mind games continue and BaeMe somehow getting that blue buff.
Well, definitely a good thing. Needlessly Large Rod now done as well. Lucidity Boots there. 20% CDR now with the Abyssal Scepter also completed, so BaeMe doing work.
And this is actually like the initial question that we raised. They won game 1. We come into game 2 draft, and there's been a different strategy. New players as well being picked on the roster.
Yep.
How do they play when they're losing? Honestly, doesn't feel like they play the game at all. They just watch the game play them. They need to start making things happen.
Looking very good for OMG. Both of their carries getting very even amounts. Rest of the team just dealing with whatever. As AmazingJ actually picking up a whole lot more of the money here for IMA. By a whole lot more, it's just there's not a lot to divvy out, as now he might be caught out of position. There's the Destiny. AmazingJ is going to have a lot of health bar to get through, as he does throw down the Subjugate, and the rest of IMA have found their way in. AmazingJ just says, yeah, you can do that as many times as you want, buddy.
It's kind of like a second-rate Twisted Fate ultimate, but Tahm Kench has always been at the right place at the right time with somebody inside his mouth.
Yeah.
He gets there. So all that AmazingJ has to do is live through the initial burst and gets out safely without a summon, a spell burn. That's a big positive.
Get on the voyage, guys.
Yeah.
I'll take you to the promised land. Well, thankfully, did work out. Now almost has his Locket of the Iron Solari as well. So building up towards being that secondary tank to augment AmazingJ. And look, if IMA can actually bridge themselves to a point where Jinjiao has at least 3 items, has the ability...
He needs a last whisper now.
Yeah, to be a monster in these fights.
Problem is, he's up against a Twisted Fate, so kind of needs cleanse.
Yeah, so QSS will be important
yeah, as in, so QSS is a big deal. But that's too many items at once, so he has to choose. Do I go aggressive? It's a random wins Elise, it's a Sunfire Maokai. Like, it's even a zone use, so I could afford to go last whisper right now and have a very efficient item buy. I go QSS to not die and risk not being strong enough.
Well, they're getting pressured out of the mid lane here as Mitty's going to throw a few abilities in there, but the inner turret just brute forced here by OMG. SMLZ there as well, does have his spell shield as AmazingJ throws down his pink. He's just like, no, don't kill my ward, dang it. He's not going to. One more auto attack will do it.
Dragon also up in 10 seconds, so this is the big point.
Yeah.
OMG are always looking towards. I may have one, and it'll be the second Cloud Drake if they do get it. Light on their feet.
Mm-hmm. But first Cloud Drake for OMG, completing the trifecta of the dragons available this game. And it is just going to be taken away here by World 6 and Xiyang.
No contest. Everything's been set up at the Baron by IM. They don't really care about this Drake as a Cloud, so perhaps they've just foregone its existence and said it doesn't matter. It's their first.
Got to pick your battles.
But to be fair, they're against the Twisted Fate, so they're just giving him Alacrity enchantments. They've given a Karma and a Sivir bonus move speed as well. You wouldn't be a big fan of it,
no,
if you're IM, but you have to kind of choose your battles wisely. I will say, however, the gold lead, not really worth mentioning.
No. I mean, 4,000-ish, closer to 3, so... Look, it's okay, but if you have a look at where the money is and what it's done, is it's a Luden's Echo that's being picked up by Cool, as well as his first 2 core items there.
Yeah, like the TF's big.
But look at the Infinity Edge on SMLZ here. Like, this Sivir is just going to be tearing people apart, and he's just been free farming. He's ahead of the clock as an AD carry. We mentioned SMLZ as a guy that has been known to carry for OMG in the past and was definitely a man stepping up towards the end of the split. Well, Destiny is going to be popped again. We'll see whether SMLZ can get us in there with the ultimate.
Nice.
Lots of damage coming out. Yeah, Chaos Storm comes out from BaeMe as Cool cops an ultimate to the face. That is a lot actually used here from OMG. No teleports, though, which is important, and they do get AmazingJs.
You know, realistically, it was only 2 ultimates from OMG. It was a TF and a Sivir ultimate, and that was basically met, if not, like, even more used by IMA. Road needs to recall because he has no health. And so we'll see how far he pushes his luck. He does have Relic. You got 1 of them. There you go. 2 of them.
Yeah, well, they're trying to get themselves towards this turret. But, like, look at how much wave clear they've got. Static Shift Sivir.
Yeah, so IMA really struggling to get anything done. They're not really being proactive. They're kind of just letting the map happen to them.
Yeah.
Small details, though, like getting this blue buff that they have now twice for BaeMe has been saving them a lot.
Still scaling as well on this IMA squad. So Caitlyn wants to get to late game. Of course, Trundle, same thing. Now has his Iceborne Gauntlet. If he builds
feels
a
like
damage item now, could be good.
We're just getting repetitive.
Yeah.
But it's because they just can't do anything. Like, Cool's running them around. OMG are running I am around.
Well, Baron is going to be started.
It's getting destroyed, not just started.
Exactly right, and with Trundle towards the bottom side of the map, not a whole lot they can do. BaeMe looking to try and set up, does have Gravity Field available as they're going to turn off it. Lots of shields.
Cool has teleport, so they're baiting the Baron so you can get turrets. Like, Twisted Fate's one of the most oppressive split pushes in the game past 20 minutes once he gets that Lich Bane. There's another easy turret just taken.
Not 5, actually. He's going to throw down the snare, but mitty has to flash out of the way. That crit did so much work. Just dives into Rhodes' belly. He's going to be safe for now. Destiny not going to be acted upon. Bottom. Yeah, he's just going to head straight back towards that turret. Try and get himself towards an inhibitor. But, of course, AmazingJ not quite out of it just yet. Destiny is going to come in. Oh, nice pillar from AmazingJ, and cool. He's going to fall down. jinjiao picks himself up another kill, but Baron has been started once again. Can they get there in time? This is going to be the big deal.
jinjiao also has no health to his name. It's very important that what BaeMe does right now
stops Ray doing work. 5 in trouble. Flashes forward. Chaos Storm is there. World 6 is going to die. BaeMe on his own against 4. Chaos Storm still here. Double kill comes in. This is massive. He's got another Q. Picked up by the support. OMG. That could be the Baron throw. As Xiyang, he might fall down at the same time. Road picks up that kill. And now AmazingJ moving towards the Baron.
Out with the subs and in with BaeMe. He comes up so clutch for IM. 3 people on the bottom side of the map, and it just does not matter. The Viktor's burst is unreal. Easy Baron pickup, an easy teamfight victory on the back of 1 member.
That is huge. Under 2,000 gold now the lead for OMG. And they were controlling the game, and now they've lost it.
It's the decision-making of SMLZ and Xiyang as well. They just can't get in here. But this is the dangerous thing. The pulsation pop of Viktor's Chaos Storm with a Q and laser instantly kills him. Like, instantly.
Yeah, it's like he had Chaos Storm again for SMLZ.
And that's the gross thing about current Chaos Storm. It does like 300 bonus damage at level 11, so it's only level 2 for him at that stage because he was 15.
Now level 16.
Which means 450, an extra 150 per level, I think it is roughly, which is insane.
Well, there's the pillar that's going to come in. Help out the shove into the mid lane.
So Cool's resigned himself to not actually joining them unless it's necessary, which ultimately it isn't. Because they're just going to go for the 1 turret.
But Rapid Fire Cannon's now done for jinjiao. He's even got himself a Vamp Scepter. This guy's like 3.5 items in. The Caitlyn's starting to feel better. 33 minutes into the game.
That's a weird build, though. I feel like going for the Rapid Fire Cannon wasn't that necessary. He needed some kind of armor penetration item. Then again, he's got it on... No, you know what? It's fine. He has it on his headshot. They changed it so it has flat armor penetration.
Yeah.
So Rinon's Hurricane. He's fine. I take it back.
Boom, headshot, boom, headshot,
boom,
boom, headshot.
Boom.
Yep.
It's so annoying.
Yep, so assuming that they're going to be able to fight against a lot of people at a time, jinjiao are going to be relatively okay shredding through these tanks.
Yeah.
He's now there on the siege.
But this hasn't ended from Cool. He's controlling both side lanes, and thankfully for AmazingJ, they've got the bottom one pushing. They also know that he's too far away, but he is about to work his way in based off positioning.
Yeah, they're going for some sort of flank play. jinjiao actually below half health. This is a real problem.
Like a stun card would actually just kill him here.
Oh, well, there it is. He's going to get eaten right before it happens. Really nice play from Road. I've been impressed already by this guy.
They're letting him life still as well, so very smart play here from IM.
Yeah, already
saving jinjiao.
Back to full health. So Dragon is now up. That is the Cloud Drake. Of course, Cloud Drake number 2. For IM if they're able to get it.
I was going to say, Rhodes a very big playmaker, and if he gets onto Cool at all, you get a feeling that he'd try and kill him.
The rest of IM moving towards this inner turret, towards the bottom side of the map. This is going to be eaten very, very quickly. Baroned up minions being utilized to great effect here from AmazingJ.
Yeah.
And that is completely even gold now at this stage of the game. Exactly when they want to be drawing things back to even, because AmazingJ, they've got this comp that they're more than happy to go late with.
Yeah, and Dragon's now up as well, so they're going to get themselves a Cloud Drake, which is 2 of them in their back pocket. Very fast team now.
Lots more movement speed around the map, and when you've got OMG trying to run them around,
well, they
feels
haven't picked
good.
up an Elder. Come on, man.
That's true. Oh, wait, so that's an Elder. Okay, sorry, my apologies.
No, they haven't got one.
They haven't got one just yet?
No, but the graphic says
you were
they
talking
do.
to the graphic.
I
I
was
thought you were talking to
wasn't-
me.
no.
Yeah.
Talking to the
very
picture.
confused. I was like, I'm pretty sure I saw a Cloud Drake. That wasn't that big, you know? I'm a Mordekaiser main. I know what a dragon looks like, right?
Dude, the Elder Drake takes up that whole, like, pit.
Yeah,
It's insane.
Right now, though, I mean, big deal.
Okay.
Jinjiao managed to pick up his last Whisper.
Yeah, it is very important.
And he's 120 CS behind.
Yep. Works out, though, naturally, as I'm pretty sure that was a decent-sized Baron power play.
Yeah, would have worked out quite well. 4 turrets to 6, so still in favor of OMG because they've cleared out the entire outer ring. Thankfully for IM, their base is still up.
Whoa.
Yeah, here's the Abyssal Voyage getting taken towards the top side of the map. It is Xiyang.
He
It
is
is out of position, well and truly. The Destiny's going to come in. OMG going to look for something.
They're going
As
mid.
TF, yeah, they're just going to try and take down the base. In goes Cool. They will be able to start tanking this one up. The rest of IM looking to try and take down Xiyang and then move forward. He's going to die. Can they get any more? AmazingJ being a big problem for them, but he doesn't necessarily have a target for the Subjugate, and he's going to get chain CC'd. Flashes
Wow,
out.
he
He's
lived.
going to survive, saves the turret. AmazingJ living up to his name.
AmazingJ is basically the hero that IM need. That was ridiculous. He did use the Subjugate. The target may not have been ideal, but nonetheless it was used, and he's coming back in.
Yep, the chase is on. IMA looking for it. Chaos Storm dropping the base onto 5 and World 6 is AmazingJ right back in there. Mitty picks it up with collateral damage as SMLZ being massive, but he's going to die to the Caitlyn. Cool. Flashes out of the way.
He's
as
got
BaeMe
cleanse
looking to
here,
chase
so
him down. And that gold card, exactly right, ain't going to do nothing. So Cool, of course, didn't want to be turning around.
Yeah.
And can IM get an inhib off this? Because that could be such a big deal.
So they don't have a minion wave for quite a while. They need to tank it. They are.
This is the full tank Trundle at work right now as Cool's just going to get obliterated. BaeMe finishes that one off.
You can't backdoor turrets. They need to get out.
These turrets do a lot of damage.
I'll tell you what, they're backdooring it.
Yeah, well, AmazingJ takes a considerable amount of damage. Jinjiao did not want to grab that next, though, as Road, he's got some grey health. They managed to take it down. There's the pillar as Xiyang, the only man standing here apart from 5. And that inhib falls down. The minion wave gets there just in time. And IMA, they've turned this game on its head. 3,000 gold now in the lead, and that's approximately the largest lead that we've seen this game.
Yeah, very impressive performance thus far from IMA in game number 2. From a gold deficit, they've now put themselves up by a decent amount. Mostly the control on the map, I think, is worth noting. Jinjiao actually gets over a wall this time. OMG are playing the map more than they're playing IM. And I feel like it's also coming back to bite them in the bum.
Yeah.
Because whilst it's a good strategy by having the Twisted Fate to do it, and I think it's something they now have to commit to doing, simply because he is running around the map, it's also just not going to work now that they're behind in gold.
Well, there's also the fact that now there's 35 seconds on the Baron. Baron inhibitor now down for OMG. No teleports apart from Cools, who has sort of redundant global abilities right now. Probably needs to start using them to check things out.
Like, he's so fast that he is just walking to use his ultimate, which is very weird. What he should be doing is teleporting so that if it comes down to it and needs to re-engage, he can use his ultimate, but he's not using the TP at all. And they've been running into issues.
Still have a feeling that OMG are well and truly equipped to win a fight.
Oh, yeah.
But at the moment, state of the game-wise, Cool looking to try and set up a siege in the mid lane. Abyssal Voyage is coming in. They're looking to try and find him.
He's too quick.
Can he use the Destiny in time? They can't actually stop it.
Oh, here we go. The headshot hit him. Oh,
Yeah.
we didn't get to see it. Oh, so excited.
Ultimate is going to be traded there, though. Teleport's still up, but I mean, that is only the Abyssal Voyage used. And he's got 20%, 30% cooldown reduction on the side of road.
The trap line stopping them from passing.
Happy birthday,
though.
Ian McKellen. Yes, they shall not pass.
Wow, this is getting chunked out. OMG.
Yeah, looking to try and turn on this one as well. Lots of movement speed coming in. There's the teleport from Cool to try and get into the back line. Snare goes in on AmazingJ. As now Mitty standing in the back line. Jinjiao also standing in the back line. Pillar goes down, giving them some extra
This
vision.
is good for OMG because they want to poke them out. They want to re-engage and then disengage until it's favorable for them. And now they've got the inside track to the middle lane. IM have no way of getting there.
Well, Base Gate is going to get them in, but this turret is not long for the world. That gets taken down. filing in. It looks like the inhibitor will survive, but so will the Baron. And I am now waiting for their minions to do the work. They're trying to stop the backs as best they can. Lots of movement speed available for OMG,
How
though.
fast Cool is. It's ridiculous.
Ludicrous amount of speed.
Like move speed, quints, and everything. This guy is like decked out.
He's got 2 movement speed items
But
in the Lichbane and the Luden's Echo and Swifties. Holy crap.
He did use his teleport. He's about to have his ultimate available, however, so thankfully for them, he can reset, go towards that bottom lane. You get a feeling that IM are going to start it up on the assumption he doesn't have it.
Yep.
He absolutely does, and you can see him running over already.
Yeah, Destiny is going to come in here, but it means that there are still super creeps in that base. The Baron down very, very low. Xiyang has made his way in. AmazingJ is gigantic right now, and Xiyang is going to fall down. Collateral damage comes in. Road somehow still alive. Look at the Chaos Storm doing so much work, and turrets are falling down in the base. OMG have to try and get back in there.
Yeah, very impressive stuff from IMA once again. They keep themselves in this game. AmazingJ is so tanky, it's unbelievable. And that was very well timed from this IM team because they saw that Cool was going to go defend the minions, but he starts up the Baron. And once the Baron was started, they had no choice but to run over and try and stop it with TF Salt. Well, he has neither available now. And Jinjiao, Road, and BaeMe have been demolishing this.
World 6, not going to happen there as he immediately flashes after getting in there with the repel. BaeMe was the one that was able to lock that one down. I have a feeling he's got a lot of burst damage. It might actually do more than Smite.
Arguable, depending on if he uses his ultimate, but I agree with you. Elder Dragon, no.
Yeah.
That'll mean 90 bonus damage on hit, 135 including the Elder Dragon buff.
And Baron minions to boot, but
they're teleporting in to fight this one. This is a must fight.
Down to
Traps are
half
set up.
health now. Xiyang at the front line doing battle here as IMA now just moving towards the base. They've got OMG slightly out of position. They'd be happy to base race this one. So much pinging going down.
OMG are recalling.
They're trying to get back in time. They've got Baroned up super creeps now heading towards this base. In goes the Destiny. As now IMA may have just thrown the gauntlet right now. This Trundle is so, so big. And of course there is a Maokai there as well. The Subjugate going to be very, very important in trying to whittle down this Maokai.
Now, once again, very smart. Of course, the inhibitor is about to respawn. So in terms of timing, they couldn't have done it better to keep control of the map. They can go straight back to the Elder Dragon. They can rinse and repeat this now. They can even go mid.
Yeah. Road looking for the Licky Tongue, but doesn't quite find it there. As AmazingJ actually still taking relevant damage here from Cool. Flash is going to be burnt from Road just to save their super tank.
Yeah, but again, no big deal because it's the Tahm Kench using the Flash.
Yeah.
Things still working out for them. They just need to set up like 5 traps in one area and actually stop OMG from getting into the Elder Dragon area. If they all recall, OMG should just do the Elder.
Well, right now, OMG look very undecided on what they want to do. 6 items on Caitlyn. Jinjiao is huge as he finishes off that Bloodthirster.
Full build across the board nearly.
Yeah.
500 CS at 43 minutes. SMLZ.
Jesus
That's unreasonable.
Christ.
He should be giving farm to other people on his team, but just sold his boots for a Zeal, so that's where it's going.
He's actually weaker now. I don't think Zeal's as efficient as Boots.
I agree. Depends on what his goal is. He has his ultimate and Karma's move speed to make up for it.
AmazingJ as well. Full tank Trundle. He's now got a Guardian Angel. That is, yeah, a lot of survivability.
We're super late game. Everyone's well equipped for the team fight. The Elder Dragon is still the standing objective. It's still the priority.
Yep.
And once again, it has been started up.
Cool sold an Abyssal Scepter for a Rabbidan's Death Cap as well. This guy's doing a heck of a lot of damage. He's now Mitty.
Mitty's dying to the Dragon.
Yeah, he's taking so much damage right here as OMG. They are going to pick up the aggro from it. It's just doing so much work for everyone.
Resetting.
Now going to reset. Get all of that health back. SMLZ here has to be feared. As you can see, Trundle split pushing in the base. There's only one turret there.
TF's gone.
Yep, there's the Destiny. As now I am trying to find something more. Chaos Storm right in there. World 6 in so much trouble as it's BaeMe that picks up the kill. Xiyang can't do anything to this one as Mitty's in so much trouble. But look at Jinjiao's damage. That was ludicrous.
And
Picks up the
AmazingJ's
double
just
kill.
winning.
AmazingJ slowly, casually smacking on this Nexus. And IMA are going to come out with our first 2-0 victory in the LPL.
Sooner or later.
That is the debut as well. Cool doing the very best that he can. He's had a brilliant game. But unfortunately, it just wasn't enough. And Aimee stalling it out, playing so well.
Give each other that fist bump, shake hands. That was a well-deserved victory from Aimee. Showing that they have what it takes to play from ahead, close out a victory. Showing they have what it takes to play from behind and claw it back.
Yeah.
Put themselves into the driver's seat once again. They played the game well.
And another huge shout out to Road there as well. I feel like the Tahm Kench was such a key pick. A lot of those Abyssal Voyages were fantastic, baiting out Destinies, making sure that Cool had to use his ultimate for inopportune moments. And despite the fact that they were able to move around so well at the beginning of the game on the side of OMG, it was the fact that they were equipped with some of the answers on the side of Aimee to really come out ahead. So this team, welcome to the LPL. I understand now exactly why they were so dominant in the LSPL.
Yeah, absolutely right. Our auto promotion team, that is a standout performance, to say the least, from this roster. AmazingJ stepped up to the plate. He's that big tank. Decision-making individually from these guys, and then how they came together collectively as a team. It's actually just a really strong roster.
Yeah.
Very impressive once again. Most LSPL teams we see come in don't do too well, but we compared this team to Xiaogu, to Snake when they first moved into the LPL. Both of those teams kicked it off on the right foot. This is no exception so far.
Most certainly is. And look, on paper, this is the most impressive victory that we've seen so far in the LPL because every single other game was a 3-game series. But we have a clean sweep from Aimee as they jump into the LPL for the very first time against OMG, a team that has so much lineage as well. And if you're talking about players that don't necessarily have as much stage experience, despite the fact that they have a heck of a lot of players that do, together they don't. We didn't know how this team was going to go, but my God, brilliantly right now. And I just want to go back to, like, Road is so good.
Road is good. He's a very impressive support. I think he's a standout feature of this team and something that we have to look towards as the LPL split moves forwards. Because honestly, playmaking on Bard, saving his team as Tahm Kench. It makes me think of like the IWC, like I was watching Dumbledore all over again. But this time he's an LPL king and was just massive for his team. As far as I'm concerned, jinjiao built his items specifically to note that Road was going to save him throughout that game. And it worked. Twisted Fate gold cards that would have outright killed him, saved him every single time without a doubt. I feel like they're just a strong team, and that's the key word. Yeah,
and they seem to know what they're doing as well as far as like getting themselves into winning positions. We are going to have a look at the results for today. RNG were able to claw a victory against WE, back-to-back victories after a first game loss, getting those jitters out of the way, but still looking fantastic. Uzi there with double MVP performances, Sivir and Ezreal games 2 and 3, and my God, did he deserve them.
Uzi went off.
Yeah, looking brilliant on RNG. And there, Aimee able to take back-to-back wins against OMG for their first best-of-3 series in the LPL. Formerly EDE, of course, the EDG sister team. And man, it just looks like the perfect place for AmazingJ to go off, for Athena to go off, BaeMe as well, who had one of the best performances that I've ever seen him have. Almost solo carrying towards that Baron pit, where he made that phenomenal play to really get them back in there. You can see standings are going to be Aimee sitting on top with RNG. WE unfortunately grabbing a loss. OMG doing the same thing. Next matchups, of course, tomorrow night it is going to be EDG taking on Snake. Game Talents against Saint. 2 of our newcomers. And Newbie are going to try their hand against Invictus. Of course, Newbie formerly QG. And that will be a really fun matchup as well because I'm really looking forward to seeing IG back again. Tarbe still a support player, but of course, very, very similar team and a team very comfortable with having a former AD carry player in the jungle. Kid looking phenomenal. Really excited to see what has happened to this squad during the offseason.
Yeah, absolutely right. Tarbe adding some shot calling to the team as well. So as far as I'm concerned, it should be an upgrade for team play, perhaps not at an individual level. Tarbe has never been known as the best mechanical player, especially not now because he's back from retirement. Yeah, and he's no longer in the meta. But Invictus Gaming still showing a lot of positive signs because they haven't changed the roster, similar to that of World Elite, who unfortunately went down today to RNG.
Yeah, but World Elite did actually look very, very strong doing it because RNG are arguably this team that looked brilliant. They were the best team in the LPL for split number 1. And then afterwards, they pick up Uzi looking even stronger. We are going to have MVP, though, for our final match, and it is going to be BaeMe. So back-to-back Viktor MVPs, but my God, did he deserve it. 807 at the end of the day. The guy was legendary. 41% damage share.
Yeah. Look, as far as I'm concerned, there was one moment that I hope we see from BaeMe that just captured the entire game, and it was essentially the winning moment. Is this guy like 1v3, 1v4 at the Baron pit, gets a double kill